So, welcome to Let's Talk Business with Laura Nowlin and Dr. Govian. Dr. Govian, how are you doing today?
Happy and excited as always because today we will learn a lot. So get ready, get a paper and pen, and put attention.
I love it because Dr. Olga, she's always happy. I
Yes.
love it when she's happy. Well, today we have a very special guest. Not that our other guests aren't special, but I mean, we actually have the privilege of having our Lieutenant Governor of the state of Nevada here with us, Stavros Anthony. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know that you have a very busy schedule, and so this is a big treat for us. So just thank you so much for doing
Oh, no, thank you for having me, and I'm gonna have a great time speaking with you two and talking to your audience about the great state of Nevada.
Awesome, great. So let's start with what the heck does a lieutenant governor do? What's your role?
You know, I probably get that question asked the most. People
Yeah.
will come up to me, and when I tell them I'm the lieutenant governor, I can see in their face they're going, "Well, what does the lieutenant governor do?" And a lot of them just come out and ask me, just
Okay.
like you did, what exactly does a lieutenant governor for the state of Nevada? What am I involved in? And what's interesting is all lieutenant governors across the country are a little bit different.
Okay.
They're basically have some responsibilities that are the same, but a lot of them are different. So let me take a minute and walk through exactly what the lieutenant governor of Nevada does. So first of all, I am the chairman of the Nevada Tourism Commission. So the commission oversees the Department of Tourism and Cultural Affairs for the state of Nevada. So it is my job and the commission job and the department's job to promote tourism. So
Okay.
it's our job to get you two and your audience to travel the state of Nevada.
Mhm.
It's my job to go around the country and talk to people about why they should come to the state of Nevada, and really all over the world why they should come to the state of Nevada. So we could talk a little bit more about that later. I'm also the chair of the Nevada Outdoor Recreation Advisory Council. So we specifically promote outdoor recreation in the state of Nevada, not just for tourists, but for our own residents, to talk to our residents about why they should get out in the great outdoors in Nevada, the things that are available, because it's good for our health, our
Yes.
mental health, our physical health, to get outdoors. Um, Next, I'm the vice chair of the Nevada Department of Transportation. So we oversee the Nevada Department of Transportation. The governor's the chair. I'm the vice chair. So we oversee the thousands of state roads in Nevada to make sure that our roads are in great shape, they're efficient, they're safe, not just for our tourists, but for us, so we can drive around our state safely. Next, I am on the board of the Governor's Office of Economic Development. So we are responsible for overseeing the office. It's called GOED. That's usually what we call it, and it's our job to diversify the economy. So I have kind of a hat where I promote tourism, but I
Mhm.
also have a hat where I try to diversify the economy in the state, which we need to do.
Right.
And then finally, I have in the office of Lieutenant Governor a specific office called the Office of Small Business Advocacy. So we are here to support, promote, advocate for small businesses in the state of Nevada. So that's basically what I'm involved in. It's one of the best positions I've ever held. I get to travel all over the state and the country and the world talking about the great state of Nevada and helping people in our state.
So you were a councilman prior to running for a lieutenant governor. What inspired you? I mean, it takes a lot to even just campaign, run for a position, and the lieutenant governor, you're right under the governor, right?
Right. So the interesting thing about the position of lieutenant governor, it's the second highest constitutional position
Mhm.
in the state. The governor's the highest.
Right.
But we're separate. The governor has his responsibilities. I have my responsibilities. Luckily, Governor Lombardo and I are good friends. We've worked together at the Las Vegas Police Department for many years. We know each other very well, and we get along, and we talk about policy issues all the time. So yeah, what happened was I was on the Las Vegas City Council for 13 years. I represented Ward 4, which is a nice little ward in the northwest part of the valley, and I was a mayor pro tem for a few years, and I was termed out. So I'm deciding, well, what do I want to do next?
Right.
Do I want to open up my own business? Do I want to do something else? Do I want to take it easy? And I happened to see the position of lieutenant governor. I looked it up because
Mhm.
I didn't know what a lieutenant governor did.
Okay.
And I found out I've been involved in tourism on the city council.
Yeah.
I've been promoting small businesses on the city council. I've been involved in transportation as a member of the Regional Transportation Commission. So I had all the background on what exactly lieutenant governor does, and I ran, and obviously I won, and I'm in my second year. Had a great first year, survived the legislative session in Carson City right off the bat. And that's the other thing I need to explain is during the legislative session. So in Nevada, the legislature is in session once every 2 years for 120 days. So as lieutenant governor, I am the president of the Senate. So I run the floor sessions on the Senate side during the session. So I moved up to Carson City, and I was up there for 6 months, coming back every couple of times just to check in with the house and my wife. And but I was up there running the floor session, so you can see those floor sessions on the website. So I will be doing that again in 2025 when the session starts in February of 2025.
Yeah. And so right now we're going into elections. So tell me how important, um, first, how important it is for us to go out there and vote, right? If we could talk a little bit about that. And then once you're in office, you represent not a party. You represent, in this case, the whole state of Nevada,
Right.
right? We're made up of Democrats, Republicans, independents, you know, we're all, different people. And you have to have that balance where you're not here just representing Republicans, you're not here representing just Democrats, you're here to represent everyone. But how hard or how easy is it going to be if things don't shift in our state?
Well, we do have elections coming up.
Mhm.
The filing period's over, so you can all now look up who's running for office. Whether you're talking about a federal office, whether you're talking about a state office or a local office, you can see who's actually filed. If it's a nonpartisan race, then they won't have Democrat or Republican, but most of them are partisan races, so you can see who's filed on the Republican side and see who's filed on the Democrat side. And now, really, the one thing that I would like your viewers to really encourage them is to seek out these candidates and
Okay.
ask them questions. Ask them questions that are important to you. How are you going to vote this way? How are you going to support this? Do you support this? To find out who you're going to vote for.
Right.
So you're an educated voter. You're not just voting because you saw a picture.
Mhm.
You're actually, and you can call these candidates, you can email these candidates. They have events, you can go talk to them. I'd encourage you to do that. And the one thing from my standpoint, what I would like all your viewers to ask about is the candidate pro business? Are they
Right.
going to support legislation or ordinances that are going to help small businesses, or are they going to do things that are going to get in their way? Are they, and not, and then for me specifically, businesses are involved in tourism,
Right.
businesses that are involved in outdoor recreation, because that's what I'm involved in. Are they going to support those businesses? So find out what is it that's important to them. I mean, my background is public safety. I was a captain with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. So ask them, are they going to be a candidate that is going to promote public safety? People want a safe community to live in. They want a safe community to have a business in. They want a safe community to take their kids to the park. Are those candidates going to support that? So that's really and you have plenty of time to do it. The primary is until June and the election is until November. So I would really encourage people to look the candidate up, call them, email them, ask them what they think about whatever's important to them. And then obviously show up and vote. And if for some reason you're not in a position to vote, support them any other way. Go walk your neighborhood for that candidate, give them some money, talk to your family about it. So that's what our whole system is built on.
Now, right now, you have more Democrats in in the state, right? But yet our governor and our lieutenant governor, they're Republicans. And so if we continue growing more on the Democratic side, what happens when legislative information or a bill, something goes forward? Does the governor lose power? If you could just educate us on that.
Sure. So the way the state legislature is set up, and I was personally involved in this as president of the Senate. You always look at which party controls the governor and lieutenant governor, which party controls the Senate, which party controls the assembly.
Okay.
There's about 45 people in the assembly, about 20 in the Senate, and the governor, lieutenant governor. So in the last session, the Democrats controlled the assembly and the Senate. They had a majority in both of those houses, which meant they could do whatever they wanted. They could pass whatever they wanted. They didn't really need to listen to the Republicans. They could do whatever they pass whatever legislation they wanted. The governor was there. Lombardo was there. If he agreed with stuff, he would sign it. If
Right.
he disagreed, he could veto it.
Right.
So you had that kind of balance of power.
Mhm.
Democrats could do what they wanted on the legislative side, but the governor was there kind of a stopgap for to take a look at legislation that may or may not be good for the state of Nevada.
Right.
So, but there's a way to override a veto. If you have a supermajority in both houses, you can override a veto. In the last legislative session, the Democrats had a supermajority in the Senate, in the Assembly, but were one vote short in the Senate, so they could not override any of the vetoes. The kind of the fight for the next legislative session to be at least in a position where, the Democrats are probably going to control the Assembly and the Senate. The governor is going to be there to veto. We don't want to be in a position where the Democrats can override the governor's veto, which means they could pass whatever they wanted into law. So that's kind of the dynamics that are going on right now. We, as Republicans, want to make sure that they don't have a supermajority in either the Assembly or the Senate. So at least we have some say in legislation in the state of Nevada.
Well, not just that. I think that we just need balance as a state.
That's-
Same case if we had a Democratic governor and the majority was Republican, we would want that safety net,
That's
and so
exactly
we just need that balance in there. We're going to go ahead and go to commercial and we'll be right back.
Hello folks, this is Mac Jackson Jr. from Vanderson Cyber Group. The problem with businesses today is that they are affected by cyber attacks from around the world, but companies are not sure of what to do. Normally, they are reactive instead of proactive. But folks, cyber attacks can affect your bottom line, and it will affect you financially, legally, and your business reputation. Here at Vanderson Cyber Group, we can help you develop a policy by training your employees on what to do if they are involved in a cyber attack and how to mitigate it and fight against it. Folks, we call it here #StayCyberWoke. And that's Vanderson Cyber Group here in Las Vegas and around the world. You can reach me, folks, at vandersoncybergroup.com or my website, macjacksonjrjr.com as well. Here locally, 702-868-0808. Give us a call today, folks. We must fight back.
Introducing CS Now Staffing, led by yours truly, Laura Nowlin. As the founder and president, I bring over 17 years of expertise in sourcing for talent, building winning teams of professionals, marketing, and workforce development. At CS Now Staffing, we're not just a staffing agency. We're your strategic partner in building a winning team of professionals for your business. My passion for community service extends to connecting entrepreneurs with local resources. Recognized by the Small Business Administration as the 2022 Nevada Family Owned Business of the Year, we're not just changing the workforce landscape, we're defining it.
Hello, this is Dr. Kovian. I am a naturopath or a doctor in natural medicine, a holistic practitioner, and I specialize in uncovering the root causes of your symptoms of health problems. How do I do that? Well, I use the electromagnetic resonance technology, same thing that CAT scan and MRI uses in the hospital. And once I know what's the root cause, through natural solutions such as teas, soups, smoothies, I'll give you the recipes for you to empower your own body's healing mechanisms so that you will heal or prevent any future health problems. You can reach me out here in Las Vegas. My number is 702 365 8000, or you can look for Balance, Salud y Vida. I have a website, I have social media, but 702-365-8000 is the best way to reach out to me. I will help you better your health, prevent any illness, increase your energy levels, reduce inflammation, pain. You will feel amazing. It will be a pleasure to serve you.
So welcome back with Let's Talk Business with Laura Nowlin and Dr. Kovian. And here we have our Lieutenant Governor Stavros with us here, Stavros Anthony. And I bet you get questions about that, right? All the time with your name. Because when I first met you, I wanted to say, well, it's Anthony. No, it's not Anthony, Laura. That's my last name.
Yeah, people get my name backwards all the time. They think Anthony's my first name, but if you go to Greece, everybody's first name is Stavros. Here in Nevada, I am the only one. So, but yeah, I'm used to that. So,
Well, now let's talk a little bit about business, right? Small business. That's one of the areas that you actually are one of the decision makers of what type of businesses come into our state, right? So if we could talk a little bit about your role there.
sure, there's actually a couple areas. So when I was on the Las Vegas City Council, I was very well known for supporting small businesses, trying to enact ordinances in the city of Las Vegas to make it easier to open up a business. So when I became lieutenant governor, I wanted to continue that
Yeah.
on the state level. So in the last legislative session, I sponsored SB 24, Senate Bill 24, which created the Office of Small Business Advocacy in the lieutenant governor's office. It not only received bipartisan support, but it passed unanimously. The governor signed it. So now we have the Office of Small Business Advocacy. There's a director and a deputy director in Las Vegas, and then there's a deputy director up in Reno to cover the northern part of the state. And it really has two roles. Number one, if Laura woke up tomorrow and said she wanted to open up a bakery. You make the best cakes in the world, which you might make good cakes and cookies.
Good case, but I don't know about the best.
But you're thinking, okay, I know how to do it, but do I need a federal license, a state license, a local license? What are the regulations? Do I need to contact the health department? How much is this going to cost? You don't know any of that. It's starting to make you nervous. You don't know where to go to find it. You would call our office and we would take care of that for you. We would set you up with what licenses you need, how much it's going to cost, where you go. We will help you navigate all that. So instead of taking 3 months to do that, we can do it in 3 days and get you up and running. So we want to make it easier to open up a business so you can start your dream, you can put people to work, you can grow, you can prosper. That's good for you, that's good for the state. While we're navigating all that with all these businesses, we're already finding a lot of crazy regulations that have been around for 50 years that just don't need to be around anymore. Exorbitant licensing fees, late fees that are absolutely ridiculous, that really hit small businesses. And we're not talking about a major casino. We're talking about a couple of people that want to open up a business. So we're going to try to get rid of those. We're going to try to reduce the licensing requirements, reduce the fees, reduce the regulations through action. So that's what the Office of Small Business Advocacy does. So if you're interested in opening up a small business, or you're a small business and you really hate a particular regulation, call the Lieutenant Governor's office, ask for the Office Small Business Advocacy, and we will have a great conversation with you.
What about the business that they already have a license in place, but they want to add other services? They want to diversify. Uh, and they don't know if they need a new license or if that fits in the new license, and if it fits in the license that they already have, if they need to update the description or anything. Can they call you guys and you help with that?
Yes, you can call us. We'll help you with that. And not only will we help you with that, but if we start finding that you need duplicate licenses for the same thing, we're going to try to reduce those. We're going to try to get rid of them because all those cost money.
Wow.
And if the license costs $500, that's $500 you could put someplace else. So we're going to do both of those for you. Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter if there is a business in Henderson, Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, or Clark County, you guys help them all.
We will help anybody if you're in Elko or Winnemucca or Wendover or
Alright.
Laughlin
That's
or Reno. We will help you anywhere in the state.
What if there's a business wanting to come into our state, but it's not going to be a good business for us as a state? Do you have any say so? Does your position or your department, what you oversee, does it have any say so in it?
So that's part of GOED. So the
Okay.
Governor's Office of Economic Development, the governor's the chair. I'm on the board. The board oversees GOED. So GOED has really two responsibilities. Number one is GOED, including me, and I did this last year. I went to Germany, I went to Mexico City, and I went to Greece. Obviously, I have to go to Greece
Absolutely.
to talk to companies about why they should come to Nevada.
Uh-huh.
So that is one of their responsibilities, is to travel all over the world to try to get diversified companies to come to the state of Nevada. Why should they come to the state of Nevada? The great tax rates that we have here in the state of Nevada, the no income tax, those sorts of things. We try to be careful though. I mean, one of the things that we're starting to focus on is we want to attract businesses that don't use a lot of water. So that's one of the things that we're trying,
Okay.
as you mentioned, trying to attract certain businesses. So if a company uses a lot of water, we're going to spend a lot of time really vetting them. So, and then the second part of that is we have an abatement process here in the state of Nevada. It was passed 10 years ago. So if you go through a certain criteria, it's very objective. We don't pick companies. We just say, if you meet these criteria, you can get your sales tax, your business tax, and your property taxes abated over 10 years. You're not going to pay those for a 10-year period.
Wow.
So if you're a company that is coming here, or if you're a company that's here and wants to expand, you can apply for those tax abatements. So one example is Tesla. Tesla wanted to build a battery manufacturing plant 10 years ago up in northern Nevada, $2 billion plant, pretty significant.
Yeah.
They wanted to come to Nevada, but they were looking at Arizona and Texas.
Mhm.
They were eligible for $250 million in tax abatements. They built that plant here. $2 billion, thousands of good jobs. The abatement is over. It's been 10 years, so now they're paying their taxes. But if it wasn't for that abatement, they may not have built their plant here.
Right.
But most of the abatements are small businesses. It's businesses out of California that want to come here that are maybe a $10 million investment. They'll get $150,000 in abatements, which is a significant reason for them to come to Nevada. So there's small businesses that can apply for it, or big businesses. So that's kind of what the responsibility of GOED is.
As a lieutenant governor, what type of businesses are you like, God, I wish we could get more of this here, right?
So up in Reno,
Mhm.
we're getting a lot of high-tech companies. So Silicon Valley from Sacramento, if you just take I-80, you end up in the Reno area. So we're getting a lot of companies that are coming to the outside the Reno area. For example, Google, Microsoft, Tesla, Redwood Industries.
Yeah.
These are very high-tech companies. They're good-paying jobs. We want them to come here. They don't use a lot of water.
Mhm.
So we're getting a lot of those companies that are coming to Nevada. Down in the Las Vegas area, we have Apex, which is a big warehouse area, massive warehouses that are putting a lot of people to work for Amazon and a lot of different companies. So the tourism industry is always going to be our number one economy in Nevada, but we're trying to diversify because
Right.
we know what happens when there's a downturn in the national economy. We get hit bad.
Yeah.
So we're getting a lot of warehouses coming out, which is it. I mean, they don't really they're good paying jobs, but they don't cause a lot of problems, you
Right.
know.
Right.
And obviously, sports. We're the sports capital of the world, so we're constantly talking about all the different sporting activities that can come to our state and support our economy.
So let's talk a little bit about the workforce then, right? So we bring in these large companies, and do you think we're ready as a workforce? And if so, that's great, right? Me being in the staffing industry, I'm probably maybe have a different perspective, right? But how else are we going to attract talent, right? Because we're not just going to be competing against the United States, other states. We're going to be competing worldwide. People aren't having babies, right? And this is a
Mhm.
worldwide issue. AI is coming in. AI can only take over so many jobs because you still need that people factor. So talk a little bit about workforce and what you see, what's happening right now. What do you see coming?
Well, it's not just workforce; it's the whole infrastructure
Mm-hmm.
that we are responsible for when we attract these companies, whether it's Northern Nevada or whether it's Southern Nevada. We attract these companies. We're attracting more employees, and what we have to stay on top of, and this is very difficult to do, is we have to make sure that there's housing.
Right.
We
Oh,
have to
yeah.
make
It's another
sure
issue.
that the
Mm-hmm.
roads are in great shape.
Mm-hmm.
We have to make sure that we have great neighborhoods for these employees to live in, and the workforce. There's certain talents that people have in order to work some of these
Mm-hmm.
industries. So we have to stay on top of our universities, our community colleges, to develop the curriculum to train these people to work in these companies that are coming here and to continue education. So the whole infrastructure is I mean, we need to make sure that we have sewers that are going in. You know,
Yeah.
the whole infrastructure is something that is something we have to stay on top of, not just as a state, but as cities and counties, to make sure that these companies that come here, these people that move here, have a they want to stay here. The companies want to stay here, and the people want to stay here. So that's something we're always talking about.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about our school system, right? When we're talking about workforce, I mean, over 10 years ago, I started seeing what the heck? I'm interviewing these individuals that are coming out of school, and I'm like, there's a big disconnect. It's like we owe them something. So I started seeing this way over 10 years, it coming in the workforce, right? So, what I know that even the Vegas Chamber is taking a stand on the school system. It's like we've got to make these hard decisions, hard choices right now. Our superintendent, we've got to bring in the right person. And I know that right now they're doing a source all over the world. How do we get that right person in here? So tell me a little bit about your thoughts about a little more about the schools.
Well, first of all, we have to have a great public education system, a
Mhm.
public school system, elementary school, middle school, high school. That's a big discussion that would take a lot of time to talk about. But what I personally believe in is that we need to have more competition out there. We need to have more choice. We need to allow parents to
Definitely.
decide where they want to educate their kids. So my two girls went to the Clark County School District, but there are parents out there that want to homeschool. We need to
All my
support them.
grandbabies.
There are parents that want to send their kids to a charter school. We need to support them.
Yes.
Private school, we need to support them. A Catholic school, we need to support them. Setting up these different choices is going to cause the public school system to do a better job
Mhm.
because they're competing with these other areas. So we need to set up a whole array of educational opportunities for parents to decide what's the best for their kid. And right now, we have a lot of obstacles that are put in place in order to do that. And I'm trying to change that as lieutenant governor, trying to get more school choice for our parents.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
Thank
Now,
you.
regarding the workforce, it's amazing that all these companies are moving here and that there will be more jobs. But what really is happening in the city is that there is a lot of people that they apply, they don't like something and they quit. There is no job retention. So bringing more people to work, what happened with the ones that are here in the city? What can it be done to better the retention of hires in the small business company? Because it's the small business who are really suffering. They hire someone, train, invest 3 months, 6 months training, then they leave. And then again, for a small business, that's a lot of stress.
Yeah, no, I mean, the one thing we talk about a lot when these businesses are coming to Nevada is one of the things we ask them is, are you going to hire Nevadans first? Okay, you need to hire people that live here. There are people that live here that need a job. We want you to hire them first before you start bringing people from other states here. And we really nail them down on that, making sure they do that first. The retention, I mean, the really the issue is when somebody goes to work for a company and they're there for 3 or 4 months and they gain these the education and the talent, they get stolen by other companies because they pay them more.
Right.
So that's kind of that's the
Cycle.
competition that is out there. We have so many companies that are moving here that a lot of our residents are starting to have choices of where they want to work and where they don't want to work. But it is unfair. When I was in Germany, they have a workforce program there where a kid gets hired by a company and learns for 2 years how to do that job, but they have a contract with that company, and if they leave, they have to pay the company back for the money that they put in to train them. So maybe those are kind of some of the things we need to talk about here in Nevada.
Well, I know that there's a lot of programs out there right now to actually help address that with small businesses, and there is funding right now available in our state. Well, we already ran out of time, but I want you to at least your closing remarks with our audience.
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, anybody in the state of Nevada that is specifically involved, what I do as lieutenant governor, please contact us so we can help you out. If you're a tourism business, if you're have a business in outdoor recreation, if you are any kind of a small business, if you're a company that is watching this from out of state and you want to come to Nevada, call my office and we'll talk to you about it. If you have some ideas about how to reduce regulations and licensing requirements, please call my office. And then, as I tell most people, if they're trying to contact the state of Nevada and they don't know who to call the lieutenant governor's office, and we'll get you in the right direction. So I enjoy helping people and trying to make Nevada one of the best states in the country.
No, thank you very much. Once again, it is a privilege having you on our show, Lieutenant Governor. Anytime you want to come on, just let us know, okay?
It's great being with both of you in the audience.
Thank you. Make sure that you're tuning in to www.dbtv.com on the website there. We're also on Roku. You can also catch us in social media through See Us Now Staffing and where else?
Salud y vida.
All right, till the next time. God bless.